Project Restoration, Jeremiah 23 in Hoods. Now, as we can see here, you got big development right here. Now, you see, I'm in Sacktown, y'all. Now, this is all based on, usually, of course, these rents used to be $600. Now, I think the average is like, for a 2-bedroom, maybe $1,200. We got all of this right in here, all of that. It's just investment for usually, okay? Now, that's a large collective group. Luther Farmer Divine, this is what he did. He bought mass land and he bought housing during the Great Depression and sustained his people. If you want to be Moses, come ride with me. Get some Moses vision. Because Moses and Joshua, they knew they couldn't be living over here and their people stuck over here. Let's say this is Egypt. Just say that's Egypt. We're going to go down here where land can be used for ownership. Y'all gonna get out with me? We inside. Now here goes some land right here. Lots of it. I think this is a Christian Life Center. Now, this land here, imagine if you would have bought this massively, then you would not only own the apartments there, the church debt-free church right here, or you could, depending on how much mass land you build back there, you could build housing for your people to go all the way back to fill the land. But if you're not going to do that, then there are people that work and have to work but can't afford to pay rent here in Sacramento and around the United States. You could open this property, God's green earth, right? And this land could be used where people could pull their cars up here and sleep safely. Some people have children, some people struggle between jobs. You can start there, and then you can take people and have classes on how to take care of yourself. Things like that to those that's able to learn, if necessary. And give them clean quarters. The ones that will abide by that, tents, whatever it takes, because this is God's green earth. It's not about being used. It hasn't been used now for a long time since CV19. That's the laws of stewardship and the laws of governing. If you're going to govern later, you got to know how to govern now. Now, remember, individually this might be owned, but it must pour out into the collective in order to glorify God, like that tree. He doesn't charge for rent to the birds and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, this land could be used if paid in full. If it's, I don't know if they paid in full or not, but they do schooling, they feed. But I'm saying multiply. I'm think big. Think, how can we own all of that, right? And the congregation be debt free. There's your Jubilee. There's your Joshua 1. They also collectively, we own land now. The language changed. Instead of just using this location to capitalize, pull from the collective in the community and move to a promised land way over there and leave these people in bondage to these landowners here where they pay leases, rent, and worse, they can be tithers. And guess what? They go to work, they pay their rent, the rents keep getting jacked up, and when everything's over, if the money went there and it was capitalized off and Moses stay over there, then these people get thrown out. Worse, if you don't own it, you could be doing the same thing as a so-called follower of Jesus Christ, using people to gain for self-centered reasons and not flowing with the natural way, which is, do the birds get charged for rent? We charge for the turkey, but the turkey eat from the stuff that fall down on the ground and feeds the turkey, the birds, the water for the reptiles. Nothing around here is charged. So capitalism and usury with gain and excessiveness, especially if it pours back to an individual, that would make it parasitic off the collective and give nothing back. When Jesus saw that a fig tree posed that as a giver, but was sucking off the rain, sucking off the minerals and nutrients of the ground, and should have been producing, it still was trying to receive. There's a time to give and a time to receive. There's a time of stewardship and a time to govern and act like the Lord is coming. That is to say, how all the things we've gathered, how do they pour into the collective? The book of Acts knew how to do it. They took lands and they what? The excessive ones, they sold, brought the proceeds, and they canceled debts. And there was a commonality or equality. 2 Corinthians 8 and 9, for the sake of equality. If you own a home, don't you want your brother to own, or do you not care? The individual bootstrap systems that say, give the 10% to God. Yeah, God will move for the individual. But if one could put 1,000 to flight, two could put 10,000. Before you know it, you could have bought up all the land as a big seed, big harvest, canceled debts, jubilee it, and now you're able to become a distribution center for God to show others how much God cares through the seed. And once they recognize that, usually the brain shifts from the reptilian side of the brain of rejection, because there's no credibility to show the works of faith by our works, the love of God that would not fail them. You can plant a seed. Even if they don't give their lives over to the Lord, they know you care. Now you earn the right to speak to your community. What's wrong with that? Flip it on the repentance. Let's put the objections on the table, especially in a community like this, in Sacramento, and let's deal with the Crips, the Bloods, the gangs, and cartels, and let's look at the commonalities of how they break bread and they share and take care of each other in tremendous poverty and intentional trapping with capitalistic systems, from prison to drugs to everything you can think of, to leave them in Egypt. And we are to build that bridge and restore and repair what capitalism with individualism and greed and access have destroyed the witness of the church in the hoods. And to restore, we have to be into the big picture. When you die, it's not going to be about how much you gathered for yourself. It's how much, tell them, Mother Teresa, how much did you gave away, that people may know and believe that we are followers of the Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ, the real one, not the fake one that pulls from the collective, starts wars, and it uses whatever it takes in the name of conquest to conquer and divide. That system is cursed, and it can't be in the church. We're not to conquer the weak, we're to strengthen the weak. What's wrong with collective vision dealing with land? Project Restoration, Jeremiah 23. This is the marathon. This is what we gonna run. God bless you.